they're filming that. Tonight they have strip searches at Catholic girls' schools. Are they necessary? So I think
we missed that one. You know, I don't know if you saw, when we did our anniversary show, we played some early appearances. We had Letterman, we had you, we had, I guess, Brenner and a couple of other guys. I almost didn't recognize you. It was about, what, 10 years ago?
About 10 years ago, yeah.
And you came out, you were wearing a suit.
Yeah, I know. It
looked like it was a used clown outfit. Or you were Clowns or Us or something, and you had a hairdo out to here, but the suit was green.
It was a green suit. At the time, that was a great-looking suit. I know.
Did somebody say you should wear a green tie?
Well, you know what it is? I didn't own a suit, and I went to wardrobe, and I said, do you have any, is there anything? He goes, oh, we got all kinds of, I think he said, beautiful clothes. I said, really? Oh, we got some beautiful things. Sure, it's a lot of the stuff, all the big stands. I mean, the way he was talking, whoever was working there. So he put the suit on. You know how when other people dress, you go, it looks great.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of walked out like this.
It was an attention getter.
Yeah, it was.
What do you got here?
Oh, I have, you know, I sensed 2 weeks ago when you were talking about Death to America Day in Iran.
They actually had it.
People didn't believe, they didn't really believe you.
They had Death to America Day, and they had parades in
Tehran.
Right,
and strange enough, I was working in Tehran.
At the time?
Weekend. Yeah, I was.
How lucky. What a nice
I was
segue.
a little comedy club called Khomeini's.
Khomeini's? Khomeini's Improv, huh?
And these are just some cards. These are some cards. These are the cards that the Iranians actually use.
You want me to see? Look at this?
You may read them if you like. You see, that one's very tasteful. It says,
with best wishes on your anniversary. May your face be crushed under the heel of the great mullah. That's nice. Sentimental. Sentimental.
This one is a nice one. Very.
You want you
just as simple. One. This is. May your head turn into cheese, you Yankee imperialist scum pig.
No, Hallmark made it. These kind of things. Yeah.
You know, I guess when you're multinational, you have to appeal to everybody.
That's right.
And this is just a simple one, happy anniversary, and it says, as you can see, a happy death to the great Satan. A nice little thing.
These from Khomeini's, huh?
Yeah, from the holiday.
So how you been?
I'm real good.
They're following you around in the hall. I saw, what's the lady's name? Colleen Williams?
Yeah.
From the news is following you with a camera. What's going on?
Oh, they're doing this day in the life thing. They're following me around all day.
Yeah, do you like that?
It's kind of, but you know, it's strange because you think...
What is a day in the life of Jay Leno?
Well, it's not very exciting, actually. But you think people know who you are when you... Like, this is absolutely true. I was doing a bunch of dates in the Midwest, and I was in Ohio. I don't want to say the city. I don't embarrass the news person, but... Oh, there you are. And I'm on with the 5:30 newscast with this newswoman, you know, and she says, Mr. Leno, I'm very sorry. I'm just not familiar with your work. You know, tell me about you. I said, oh, that's fine. She says, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm on the Tonight Show a lot. I'm on Late Night with David Letterman. She says, oh, okay, because I'm promoting the news comes on. I'm sitting right next to her. Exactly what she says. We're talking with Jay Leno. Jay, who claims to have appeared on the Tonight Show. like I'm lying. Like I made it up.
Like that can't be checked.
Yeah, like you couldn't check. And you get a lot of that. I was in Atlantic City last week, and a guy says, hey, I know you. I said, TV? No. I said, I'm on the Tonight Show a lot. I fill in on Mondays. No. Do you work in a gas station in Secaucus? And they don't believe, you know.
That happens with television. They see a face, and, you know, you're relatively new, but not new. But you're going to, you know, they'll know you all over the country.
Well, we'll see.
But have things changed for you? I know your income has gone up.
Yeah. A little over the scale now.
Yeah?
Things are going great.
What were they paying you for a first job when you worked the clubs? I guess a lot of times the guys went in, actually worked for nothing.
You work for nothing, but then you'd go on the road, and there's a real pecking order to how you eat in these places. Right. I remember I went to one club, I was the headliner, and they said, Jay, you can have anything on the menu except the steak. And then the middle act, they said, you can have any one of the appetizers or any of the soups. And they actually said this to the opening guy. They said, and you can have any one of the sandwiches in the machine. Oh. And that's the way it is. Like, can I give him my potato? Is that okay? If I order a potato and he eats it, do we get fired now? I mean, there's a real pecking order. Like your nutritional needs are based on how good your act is. You know, it's very odd.
Your parents follow your work a lot? I mean, do they watch you?
They get a kick.
Do they understand?
Well, you know what it is? The first time, they watch. It's all the time. Now, I say, you see the show? Your father tried to stay up. I get that. Your father wanted to see it. You know, he tried to stay up. And, of course, they can't figure out the tape machine, so that's another whole nightmare. Yeah.
Parents are a great leveler. You know, they're a great leveler because no matter how successful you might become, you're still their kid. And Norman Lear told me a story. Now, Norman Lear, who's Sanford and Son, and All in the Family, and had tremendous successes as a producer, told me a story that when they gave him, I think it was the highest award they could give you, the Governor's Award or something, and he'd called his mother. You know, now Norman is not young. He's 63, maybe 64. Calls his mother and says, Mom, they're inducting me into the Governor Award or something. And his mother said, well, I guess they know what they're doing. And all of a sudden you want to go, mommy. So it just puts you right back.
Well, my mother's a great one for muttering things under her breath. You know, my mother never actually objects to things. It's like when my wife and I lived together before we were married, and my mother never really said anything. She would always mutter. You know, like I would go over there for lunch and say, Ma, pass the milk. You don't buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free, do you? What, Mom? What'd you say? You said something.
Yeah. Don't have butter in the icebox, yeah.
Oh, all the time. Pass the bread, Mom. What's another slice off the loaf? What, Mom? I'm just a mother. My opinion means nothing. What, Mom? Nothing. You know, all the time.
Yeah. Were they strict when you were growing up, or?
Yeah, they were kind of strict, but we always had a lot of fun, you know. I remember, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, what can I talk about on this show? And this is absolutely true, because it was Thanksgiving, and my mother reminded me about this, the comb and the roast beef story. I mean, we were having Thanksgiving, I remember. It was about 1956. I was 6 years old, and my father built this big patio. And he had just bought my mother one of these rotisseries. You know, they'd just come out where you stick the metal things in and the meat goes around. It's electric. And my father was, hey, come on, invite the whole family over to see the new thing. So we had the rotisserie going. My mother had bought this huge roast about this big. It was enough to feed 10 people. And she, you know how you tie it with string?
Yeah.
And I was a little kid, and I'm sitting there, and the rotisserie is up here, and it's going like this. And you know how you kid, I'm trying to, like, my mother had marinated the meat, and I'm trying to, like, pick pieces off. You know how you do like this. But I couldn't reach it, so I had an ace comb in my pocket. So I took the comb out, and I'm trying to, like, you know, and I'm going, I mean, you're a kid, I'm 6 years old. So I get the comb up there, and it gets hooked on the string. So now the comb starts to go around, and I can't get my comb, and I said, oh, and I left. I walked away.
You're out of it.
Yeah, I left. So my father, you know, come on, everybody. Hey, we're ready for the roast. Come on, everybody. Sit down, you know. So everybody's sitting around there, you know, and my father, he takes the roast off, and it looks delicious, you know. And everybody's sitting, you know, they're sitting like with their forks, you know, up in the air, waiting to eat. My father starts to cut, and all of a sudden goes, clang, this big piece of plastic goes clang, and the meat is all pink underneath. He goes, what's that? I said, oh, it's my comb. It melted. I said, your comb. He picks the roast beef up, he throws it out in the yard. All the dogs, they're all eating it. Everybody's like this, staring out the window. These 4 dogs, they just tear the roast apart, and we had nothing to eat.
That's funny. You know how your mind works when you do comedy? I was listening to this story, and I was seeing your dad carve the turkey, and somebody says, there's a leg for you, a thigh for you, here's a breast for you, here's a comb for you. I was going down there. What part would you like? Give me the comb, please. I always like the comb. You want to do this first? We'll do this. We're coming right back. All right. Okay. It's comedy time tonight. I feel like I'm an MC at the comedy club or the Improv or something. I with Jay here. Here's a young man who's a fine stand-up comedian. Been on the show many times. He's appearing at the Comedy Store at the Dunes in Las Vegas. Some people call it that. They've been there 3 days in Las Vegas. The week of December 8th and Christmas week, he'll be in Daytona. He'll be in Daytona Beach, Florida, at Mac's Famous Bar. Here's George Miller. George.
Very much. Boy, my heart's beating. I was a little bit late. I got detained. I was at a meeting of the People Who Think Robin Williams is Not a Genius but Merely Annoying Club. And I was a little bit late here. Late Show Business Bulletin. John Larroquette of Night Court has won another Emmy. They gave him the award for Most Impressed with his own award. So... Jay was talking about his mom. My mom has her own business now. She's in the yellow pages under I Can Spoil Any Occasion. That's not true, but my mom does give guidance in the form of little phrases. Like, think back to when you were a little kid. I know you've all heard this expression before. I first heard it when I was a little kid. Somebody says, I want something. And my mom says, people in hell want ice water, but they're not getting it either. I got confused. I thought hell must be like Denny's. It's hard to get ice water. It's always full of that guidance. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Right, Mom? You have anything for the wimpy? Happiness comes from the inside. That's why you always feel better after you puke. Does your mom make a big deal out of everything? Would you like a cracker while I've got 'em out? Oh, yeah, Mom. Wouldn't want to blow this golden opportunity. Now, if you've seen me the last couple of years, you know I'm the comic who's always looking for a gimmick. That's my gimmick, that I'm looking for a gimmick, and that's not working, so I don't know what the hell to do. But tonight I'm the In the News comic. A lot of interesting stuff in the news. My favorite news story of last year was Richard Miller, the convicted spy. He got 2 life terms plus 50 years plus a $60,000 fine. And he better pay that fine or he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, more applause. My goodness, more applause. I like to watch CNN, the all-news network. They got that Oriental newscaster, Sasha Foo, F-O-O. I'll never forget the first time I saw her. She said, I'm Sasha Foo. And I thought, don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, such a fool. That woman just got it now. And Siskel and Ebert are always at the movies together because neither one of them can get a date. Gee, I wonder why. A fat guy and a gay boy. What a mystery. Not true. I just had that for a cheap laugh. Siskel is not gay, but the other one really is a wad. Violence is the #1 problem. Remember a few months ago, the terrorists, they said they were going to start doing stuff in the United States. They mentioned department stores. That'd be pretty scary. You'll run for your life at Sears. David Horowitz on Channel 4 here. This is true. This is the single most stupid thing I've ever heard. This is on the news. Some people sued the police department because on television the police say if you have an emergency, dial 911. These people had an emergency. They claimed they couldn't dial 911. You know why? They couldn't find 11 on the phone dial. Are these the same people who want to take one-a-day vitamins, but they can't figure out the dosage? Is it the same people? I'll tell you something real stupid that happened to me. I went to a comedy club. They picked me up at the airport, okay? The driver was Danny, not the brightest guy in the world. I got off the plane. He's holding up a big sign with his name on it. You want to say something really stupid that makes no sense? Next time somebody says, have you gained weight? Tell them, no, you've lost eyeball. Makes no sense. And speaking of that, I had a blind date recently, and she was real overweight, and she kept asking for compliments. Do you think I have bedroom eyes? Yeah, and a kitchen butt, too. Well, I was married for a long time, and after several years, my wife presented me with a beautiful 9-pound baby boy, and I want to tell you something. I couldn't have been any more proud if that little guy had been my own child. Are you guys like me? If I'm in the doghouse, I'll be such a worm. I'll say anything to get out of the doghouse. Gee, honey, no, this is silly. I don't even remember what we were fighting about. You pushed my parents off Mount St. Helens. I forgot all about that. Your mother really sailed, as I recall. Well, I got a new sexual etiquette book, a lot of do's and don'ts I wasn't familiar with. For instance, after making love, The man should never say to the lady, "Okay, Gertrude, that ought to hold you for a while." Thanks a lot. I enjoyed talking to you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Come on, George. Good shot. That'll hold you for a while. Okay, we'll be right back. And you're attacking everybody. Okay, fellas, it's time to bring a nice young lady out here. Jane Atkinson. Jane Atkinson is on a show, NBC show called A Year in the Life, which airs on Wednesdays from 9 to 10. She plays Lindley Gardner Eisenberg. Would you welcome Jane Atkinson? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
I'm great.
You a comedy fan? Do you ever go to the comedy clubs and catch the...
No.
Oh. Well, that's...
You're very funny, though.
Thank
You're
you.
both very funny.
You talking to me?
That last one was great.
That'll take care of your egos, guys.
And to take care of yours.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's nice to see you. Somebody told me, I always asked actors or actresses what they used to do.
Really been very
Either one of you guys ever in a school play?
No.
No kidding.
No.
Christmas,
Yes, I was, actually.
Christmas pageant? I thought everybody was.
No, I was in a play, but I remember just being kicked out for some reason. I'm sure. I don't know
A
what.
lot of people start off with trees and, you know, things like that.
Oh, well, sure, but a tree, but a bee, I mean, that's way above that. A tree is nothing. We'll be right back. I did, I played a bee. A bumblebee and his big wings. It's nice to have you with us tonight. Thank you. We look for you on A Day in a Lifetime. George, you're headed for where?
I've got a dental appointment on Thursday.
Okay. Just a small crowd will be there. And Jay's going to be in Pittsburgh November 18th, November 19th in Columbus, Ohio, and in Boston.
Boston the next day, Tampa the next day, New York the next day.
Next day and so forth.
And then the special next Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's Thanksgiving Eve, right? Thank you all for being here. Tomorrow night we have some people. Oh, I know that, Fred. Diane Shure, great jazz singer, is going to sing. Paul Reiser. And a lady who was a detective at one time, now turned author, or was it an author turned detective?
Actress, not author.
So what did I say?
Author is what you said.
Ah, shut up. Boy, when you're in trouble, go right to the big stuff, huh? A private eye turned actress.
Aha.
But she could have turned author. And she made a morrow. Rebecca Arthur. That's what I was bothering. It's Rebecca Arthur. Not Rebecca Author. Rebecca Arthur, who turned actress and was a private eye.
Say good night.
Say good night, Gracie. Good night.
Coming up, Tony Curtis joins Dave on Late Night with David Letterman.